In this video, we will see code implementation.
So now let's implement the code for the problem missing number. So we discussed the 4 approaches most. So let's start. Let me comment it basically. So the first approach was by simply sort the array. Then the second was using key value pairs. Then third was using an external array as a space, and the fourth that we discussed using some difference of you can say natural numbers. Okay, so now let's solve the problem for each one of it. So we will take approach one by one. So let's discuss the first one, sort the array. So let me just quickly create one function, suppose missing number, or I will say approach one. Okay, so here in approach one, let us sort the array. We have only nums, right? And we need to sort the array. So basically here what we need to do, so we just need to do sort nums dot sort a comma b a minus b. So this we will simply sort it and we will run a loop, right? So basically simple loop that will start from I equals to 0 to, let me put it in syntax. So that will start from 0 to instead of this less than nums dot length, and that it will go till nums dot length. So now what we need to do here, basically we just need to check. So if nums of I, right? So if the index is not equal to that element, that means it is not there. So if nums of I, right, it not equals to I, basically what we will do, we will simply return I, because that is our missing element. But suppose if the array is already sorted, right? So then the last element is the element. So how we will get the last element? By nums dot length. So let me explain you a little bit here. So basically we will sort the array, right? And suppose 0 1 2 3, so we will sort it. So if one of the element is missing from it, I will simply check if nums of I is not equals to the correct index. That means simply return that index, and that is the number, right? But suppose if all the array is already sorted, like 0 1 2, right? So what is the number that is missing? So it is 3. That is the size of the array, right? So this is the approach one. Now the next approach is using key value pairs. So what I will do, I will again, let's create, and I will paste it. Okay, so I will basically say 2, and this is my nums. So now we are doing with this by using key value pairs. So what I will do, basically I will create an object. So I will simply create an object. What I will do, I will store all the numbers in it. So I will start from let I equals to 0, I less than nums dot length, and I plus plus, and I will store all the numbers in it. So you can store it like anything. So here I am putting object nums of I equals to like true. You can add 1, whatever you want, right? So we have created an object, we have filled all the elements, right? And now what we will do, we will simply just check if the element is present in there or not. So I will simply run a loop, I equals to 0, I less than nums dot length, and I plus plus. And what I will do, I will check if the element, right, that is nums of I is not in the object, right? If it is not in the object, what you need to do, right? Simply return the index. Now what you can do basically here, so we are checking, so we have already filled it, so why we are checking? It should not be nums of I, so we have the total number of nums, right? So what we can do, let me explain you this little bit. So suppose we have n equals to 4, right? So I will run this till 4, so I will run this till 4. I don't need to do nums, right? Because I am not using array, I will simply use I here. So basically I am counting from 0 and I am checking it, and I am going till nums of length, right? And if I am getting that the ith index is not present in the object, I will simply return it. Okay, so this is our approach 2 that we have already discussed. Okay, now let's come to approach number 3. So I will again tell 3 where we need to use an array. So basically what I will do, I will use create an array like res is equal to new array, and I will simply create with this length only, and I will increase the length by 1 because one element is missing, right? So and I will also fill it by -1. Now what I will do, I will simply run a loop equals to 0 I less than nums dot length, and I will fill elements one by one. So basically what I will do, so basically in the res, in the index of it, nums of I will fill that element, that is nums of I, right? So basically I am getting like a rest of 0 equals to 0, a rest of 1 equals to 1. So this is how I am filling it. And after this what I will do, I will again run a for loop. Let suppose I equals to 0, I less than the rest dot length. Now what I need to do, I just need to check is there is any number that is -1, right? And if it is -1, that will be my missing element, right? So I will check if my rest of I is equals to -1, and if it is -1, simply return that number, so return that index, and that's it, right? So this is your approach number 3. Now let's come to approach number 4, that is you're using with natural numbers. So this is very easy. What I will do, I will simply just take the sum. So let sum equals to, and I will use reduce method to just calculate the sum. So in reduce method we have accumulator, so accumulator and the element. So this is for sum basically. So you can do the sum by you simply using a for loop. I am just using this because I find this a bit more easy. Now what you can do, you got the sum of the complete array, right? Yes, so by simply just this method I am getting a complete sum, and I want the sum of the natural numbers. So let's suppose natural number sum, or let me put n sum equals to the basic natural number, so n into n plus 1 by 2, right? That is the natural number. But what is n here, right? So what I will do, I will simply take n equals to nums dot length, that is my n, right? So if the array is of size 3, so my loop will run from 0 to 3, right? So that's why I am using n. Maybe you guys thinking it should be n plus 1 into n plus 2 by 2, right? But because we are starting from 0, so we can simply directly use it. And then what I will do, I will simply return the difference, and the difference is n sum minus sum, right? So here we have discussed the 4 approaches, right? And very clear these 4 approaches. Let's just quickly do a dry run of all these 4 approaches. So let's see.